All right. So, it has been a couple of weeks in real time here, but we're basically going to be picking up exactly where we left off last time. And last time, if you remember correctly, you all started off in different parts of the waterfront area of Bay City, which is the combination of the reformed San Francisco and Oakland area. Renamed so after an event back in 1999, caused a lot of damage, the history of which is not entirely relevant to what we're talking about. Um, so basically, what happened was you guys were all doing your thing down in the waterfront when there was a giant warehouse explosion. This warehouse explosion caused, well, you're not sure what it caused, but you do know that there were at least three superpowered individuals who were wreaking some havoc. One of them was this giant plant-like creature. One of them was a frat boy, and one of them was a typical, stereotypical California surfer dude. The otter took a giant bite out of both the surfer dude and the frat boy, getting himself a little trippy in the process. Uh, the ghost-like entity got himself seeing lots of pretty colors, and the armored knight and the trained assassin eventually managed to take down or fight the plant until the otter showed up, got on the plant's back, and made the plant knock out himself by whacking it in the back with a vine. After that, basically right after that happened, you guys all heard the sound of a helicopter. And the helicopter basically landed right by you, and you guys saw the. If you look under the handout section, you will see a picture of a guy in a fully salmon flamingo colored suit getting out of the helicopter.
Alright, so Lutra immediately runs behind Aton Wolf because he's big, and I immediately start fiddling with my belt into human form, or look like I'm in human form.
Alrighty, fair enough. So, Anton, there's a animal running behind you, and then next thing you know, there's not an animal standing behind you.
Is Krim still down at this point? Or has he gotten back up?
I've been up.
He ban up.
I just have like a few spots in the corners of my eyes, but nothing much. I'm fine now.
Yeah, basically just like rubbing the sleep out of your eyes.
Alright, so I'm gonna position myself so I can see all four of them so they don't get behind me.
Alrighty. So, you see this man getting out of the chopper, and he basically signals it to stay in idling mode. So it's a little windy. One of you very much enjoys this. The others don't really care.
Does anyone else notice that I'm not even like slightly hindered by the blades of the helicopter?
They can give me perception checks to find out if they care.
Let's do a roll.
I can guarantee Lutra would not be looking at that.
Do a barrel roll.
Alrighty. So the answer to your question is no. Nobody notices because that's a not one on that perception check. So no, definitely not.
Alrighty. I fixed my hood to like cover my face a little bit more, and just stand there, suspiciously like glancing at this pretty boy who just walked off the copter.
All right. Does anybody have well-informed as an advantage?
No.
Hold on, I have to bring up my character sheet.
I do not.
I forgot they were on roll 20 things.
Anton?
Oh wait, then now I don't roll 20? Hold on one second, let me get my actual sheet then.
Yeah, I didn't write down the advantages on roll 20.
Alright, give me 1 second then to pull my actual sheet then.
I do not.
I do not either.
Okay, one last question. Anyone have expertise in current events or technology?
Is that like an advantage or?
It's a skill.
Skill.
I do not.
Gotcha. I don't think I do either.
I have a 6 in expertise.
What's
let me see.
what's the expertise specifically?
Oh, close combat.
What was the other thing you said? I'm sorry. Expertise and.
Current events or technology?
Nope.
All right, then. None of you will recognize the man getting out of the chopper.
It's Elijah Wood.
It's not... Elijah Wood isn't even the actor I used for the picture there.
I know. It should be Elijah Wood.
Why should it be Elijah Wood?
Because it should be.
Okay, I don't get why it should be.
Just because when I first looked at the picture and the stance and everything else, the first person that came through my head was Elijah Wood.
Okay, I will note that for next time that Spectre wants an Elijah Wood lookalike. Gotcha. But guy is gonna get up and he's basically walking towards you, and it kind of looks like he's walking towards you with a purpose. It doesn't look threatening at all, but definitely looks like he's walking towards you with a purpose.
Alright, I'm gonna turn to face him, but keep myself in like a battle, not a battle stance, but like a ready stance just in case.
Human Lucha is still hiding behind the big guy with the hammer and shield. Or hammer. I don't know if he has a shield.
No shield.
Still hiding behind him.
At this point, I sort of start walking away from where he is to go look at the helicopter.
As you're walking away, he will actually start to address you. Has a very, now I can't do this accent, so I'm not going to try, but has that very sort of California surfer accent going on. Gentlemen, I'd love to get more into details about what I want to talk about, but this is not the time to do so, as you can plainly tell. He gestures towards where the roads would be, and you can start to hear the sounds of sirens getting closer. But I would very much like to discuss what just happened with you. If you would not mind joining me in the chopper, we can discuss en route.
I don't know. What I saw was an otter bite 2 guys. You guys see an otter anywhere around here?
Human Lucha shakes his head rapidly, as in no. He doesn't say anything.
An otter, you say? I'll have some people sweep the bay.
So why exactly should we trust you to go with you anywhere?
Well, you probably shouldn't, but if you want answers to what happened, then your time is running out, and we really don't need to stay around here. Besides, your 2 options are come with me, or deal with the authorities who are coming now and have to answer questions with them.
I can pretty much guarantee I don't need to stick around and answer any questions, and I don't need to go with you to do that, so... You're going to have to be a little more persuasive than that if you want any information out of me, because we know that you're not just here to give us information.
No, you're right. I'm here to discuss a business proposition. But again, time is of the essence. And the sirens are getting much louder now.
Alright, I am fairly confident in my combat abilities to get away from the situation, so I'll just start walking towards the chopper.
I've already decided I'm going to be the last one to choose whether to go on the chopper or not. So I'm looking at the other two, trying to gauge what they're doing, because the big, like, warrior-like guy that's walking towards the chopper, I'm like, you know, if he goes a little bat bleep crazy on the chopper, I don't want to be near it.
He's going to look at Spectre and Lutra. Gentlemen.
Lucha keeps looking back towards the streets where the sirens are coming from and looking towards the chopper. And he keeps looking back and forth, like, you know, clearly attempting to make a decision. He's also looking out over the ocean. But seeing Anton get towards the chopper, he rather, like, he doesn't say anything, just rather quickly just, like, kind of lowers his head and just kind of jogs or even runs over towards the chopper, more specifically Anton.
Well, seems the other three have made their decision. And you, sir? He's specifically talking to Spectre.
Oh, Spectre's aware. Luckily, you can't hold me.
I was never trying to hold you.
It doesn't mean that I'm not suspicious of you. I don't ever trust anyone with propositions.
A good policy to have. Now, let's get out of here before we have to answer more questions.
Just be wary of who you're handling. And with that, Spectre walks towards the chopper.
He'll jump in the chopper after you guys, and it will take off. And I'll give this to you, Spectre, because you understand how aircraft work. This is a fast chopper.
I don't care. I'm still sitting on the doorway.
Right, but he doesn't say anything, and this thing takes off over the bay, does a nice big loop, and eventually will head on a beeline towards, well, this.
So I'm assuming our characters know what this is, so any...
I was going to say, during this entire thing, Lucha is shaking like nobody's business.
No, fair. So coming up to the side of the building here, anyone who's been in the city for any amount of time recognizes this building without making a check. It is one of those big office buildings. It's got a similar, for lack of a better description here for you guys, it's basically, you know, like a Wayne Enterprises style of get up here. But this is the Stormbreaker Technologies building. You know it because, you know, on the building itself you can't see it in the picture, but it does definitely say it. And you know they are more into, from what you know that's been in the city, it's a lot of like medical technology that they tend to be working with.
So, not fish.
Not fish.
Lucha frowns.
I mean, they might have
So-
some fish at PHISH playing in the background, but
Yeah, that's what...
So since we just fought 3 basically mutants, and we know that we're going to a place with that does medical science, could that be consistent with us getting suspicious that something's shady at this point?
that's entirely how you want to play it. But if nobody has any questions, the helicopter will head on over to the roof where there is a helipad and land.
Before we land, I'm just gonna look at the guy in the Thomas, and just let him know that if anything does happen, that his life will be forfeit before anyone can even get off that ship.
I'm well aware of your abilities. I did see what happened down at the shoreline.
Just remember, sir, there's 4 of us, only 1 of you.
Yes, I knew perfectly well what I was getting into when I showed up down there.
I just kind of bark at the other 3 to be ready for anything as soon as we land.
Before the helicopter even lands, Spectre just jumps off onto the roof.
Can I look at Lucha and be like, grow his spine?
It's your play it how you want to. I will not interrupt with character interactions. You guys play that how you want to. I'll jump in with GM stuff when it's relevant.
Okay, I'm gonna, because that's gonna annoy me, so I'm just gonna look at him and tell him to grow up, and tell him that if he's gonna have my back, that he has to be ready to fight with us, or I'm not gonna be able to depend on him to be there when we need him.
Lucha just looks at you and sort of slightly nods.
All right, so the chopper will land after Spectre jumps out, and anyway, so everyone will get out. The gentleman in the pink shirt, who has not formally introduced himself yet, even though you guys can see his name on the handout side of things, will sort of nod to his chopper pilot, who will take off to go do something, who knows. And he'll walk over to the rooftop access door, and it's one of those high-tech palm print readers. So he'll use the palm print and will gain access to the top floors of the building.
Okay, at this point, I'm gonna look at him and tell him that before I go anywhere with him that I want some answers now. There's no pressing need of urgency.
Fair enough. What answers are you looking for?
Well, let's start with who are you and what is this place and why did you bring us here?
Well, this is my place, my company, and I brought you here because of what just happened down at the waterfront and your ability to quell the tide.
I don't know what tide you're talking about. I'm not an otter hunter. I'm an aircraft mechanic.
An aircraft mechanic who jumped into the fray to stop a rampaging frat boy with drug-inducing abilities.
Yeah, but I didn't say I was a smart airplane mechanic. I just said I was an airplane mechanic.
But you do have to be at least somewhat intelligent to be an aircraft mechanic.
Or I've just worked on aircrafts a very, very long time.
I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I'm trying to assume that you know what you're talking about.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm talking about. This city itself, ever since the incident in 99, has sort of become corrupt, slimy, disgusting. Pick your word for it. In addition to the...
LA.
What was that?
I said LA.
But without the smog. In addition...
You still haven't told us who you are. Who are you? I'm not going to repeat myself again.
You really don't know who I am. I thought everybody in the city knew my name. Anyway, I apologize for that. Thomas Casey.
Was that supposed to matter to us?
Well, apparently not. But director, founder, and CEO of Stormbreaker Technologies.
Basically, he's so rich that it doesn't matter who you are, he's going to know something about you.
That's a very slimy way of putting it, Mr. Mistral. And he specifically says your last name to prove your point.
Yeah. Then you probably know not to test me right now. Especially given our certain elevation.
I would think nothing of the sort. As I was saying, this city is corrupt, overrun. In addition to all of the gangs, what just happened down at the waterfront is not just a warehouse explosion. As far as I can understand, it was an engineered explosion. That warehouse was an off-the-books facility that I use to store the nanotechnology that I use in the medical research we perform. It's off the books because if people knew where it was, well, you can imagine some of the things that they could do with said nanotechnology. Looks like somebody found it. And why are you sniffing me?
I'm going to look at the Lucha and ask if that is one of his traditions as well.
Lucha doesn't answer you, but he looks towards Thomas and says, in a very shaky voice, Are you with the government?
I'm not with the government.
Lucha immediately looks like he calms down.
And he pulls open the suit. He goes, "It's Armani. Does the government wear Armani?"
I didn't think of that.
If anything I know about this company is true, I would say Mr. Casey here is about as far away from government as we could expect.
Now, don't get me wrong. The government has been trying for years to contract me to use the nanotechnology that we develop and research into weaponry. But, yeah, I'm not going to have my legacy to be remembered be like that of Alfred Nobel, who, dynamite and had to invent a peace prize to clear his conscience. I'm not going to have that.
So we're not going to have another Stark here.
No, we are definitely not going to have one of those.
And those three things that we just encountered, what are those?
Well, I don't know for sure, but the best guess I can come up with is exactly what the government was trying to do: weaponize the nanotechnology. The explosion, combined with the nanotechnology, more than likely invaded a lot of the bloodstreams and the like of the people down on the waterfront and reacted in a manner of that to grant them superhuman abilities, some of which, as you saw with the plant creature, caused some hideous transformations. Hence, you see why we couldn't have this conversation down at the waterfront. Not for your safety, but for mine.
So, what exactly is your angle here? You want us to be bodyguards of your technology?
No. And yes. Specifically, I want you to be the people to help figure out what's going on, who caused that explosion, why they caused that explosion, and to help the city from whatever inevitable bleep storm that's going to result from this, because there is going to be one.
And do you intend to compensate us? And if so, how so? Because I don't work for anyone for free.
Compensation will be just in addition to a substantial wage, if that is what you desire, accommodations, training facility, medical facility. For those of you who do not like dealing with the press, a media liaison, and also access to any and all of my resources to look into whatever you might need to look into that may be pestering you from things that you might not want to discuss.
And exactly why should we trust that you are who you are?
Because I just admitted to you that it was my technology that caused everything down at the docks. And if I didn't, why would I put that information in your hands where you could easily have me arrested?
I think the more interesting question here is, why are you attempting such a rash and quick cover-up? Because that's exactly what this is. You want us to be rogue operators in researching what happened and who did what they did, so there's no information getting out to any government officials or any other anti-terrorism organization out there, which we know there's a ton. Why not let them handle it? Why go rogue?
Because I'm 99% certain that it's internal to my company, and I do not want... One thing I promise to all of the people who have worked for me is that we will not get involved in anything government, and them coming and investigating is just that. I made a promise to my people. I want to keep that promise.
So you know who the four of us are. You know of any, how do I put this, nuances we may have. So why us four? Was it because we fought them? Or is there some other hidden agenda here? Because we all know there's other people with abilities or these nuances that you could go after instead to help you out.
The answer to that question is complicated. Now, if you would like me to truly answer the question, I can right now. But be aware, you probably will not like the answer you hear. Not because it's not the truth, but because of what it potentially brings up.
I'm gonna roll a perception check just to see if the others are kind of confused why I'm talking about our special abilities to someone who really doesn't have any. So apparently not.
If they are wondering, you can't tell.
Before I put my lives in any of their hands, I want to know who they are as well.
Lucia looks around and says, "Well, my name's Brandon. Brandon Culpa."
I don't quite think that's what he was referring to.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you were more referring to what everyone's capable of?
I want to know what I'm getting myself into if I'm going to be working with them.
Well, I would be happy to explain more, but can we please move this inside where I know the facility is secure?
Very well. I'll just walk past them inside.
Lucia looks at Thomas and says, "So, you know who I am?"
I know that there were 4 individuals down at the waterfront who stopped the terror that was happening. 3 of the 4 I know for a fact got on my helicopter. The 4th one, who got on my helicopter, has been twitchy the entire time. And that I find interesting. So tell me, Mr. Culpa, you said?
Yeah.
Why are you so nervous?
They're always looking for me. I can't trust anybody. It's not working for them. I don't want to be found.
Well, then I can assure you of this. They won't find you here.
He looks at you. Or, I'm sorry, looks at Thomas. Kind of not overly trusting, but just kind of simply nods.
If you want to gauge his if he is lying or telling you the truth, you may go ahead and roll an insight check.
Actually, no. It wouldn't matter because he's just gonna go ahead and do it anyway.
Okay.
He's not curious if he's lying or not. He doesn't think he has a choice.
So you guys walk into the upper floors of this facility, and from what you would expect, a medical research facility, machines that would be manufacturing nanotech, doing a bunch of medical research. But there's none of that here. The floor you walk into as you walk down these stairs from the roof, it looks like this has been specially designed as, for lack of a better term for you guys, it kind of looks like a mini Hall of Justice type deal where there's, a kitchen, there's bunks, then there's training. So it looks extremely high tech, like it's, made with the knowledge of there's going to be people staying here.
Been expecting us, have you?
Not you specifically, but yes, I've been expecting at some point to be able to finally pull the trigger on something that I've been felt the city has needed for a while.
Pull the trigger. Interesting choice of words.
I don't mean anything threatening by it. Besides, I know for a fact if I make one false move here, I'm a dead man because all four of you can kill me. Well, at least I know three of you can kill me in very grisly ways. The fourth one, I'm not so sure.
I my apologies. I wasn't meaning that. I was taking it as a threat towards us. I just find it kind of interesting that you use the term pull the trigger when a lot of potential destruction of the city, from what you have spoken to, can or has been caused by you.
Right. It's been caused by my machines and my research, and by somebody or some buddies who are looking to weaponize that. Now, whether it's the government trying to do what they do clandestinely, whether it's another group, I don't know. What I do know is that the city itself for a while has been falling into corruption, whether it be from the mobs or whether it be from random, powered individuals who just seem to want to come in here and take whatever they want because there is nobody in this city who is willing to step up and defend it. And what you see here is my way of trying to help that. I don't have abilities myself, and I refuse to utilize my nanotechnology to give myself them, even though I know I could, because that would go against my entire mission statement. But seeing you down at the waterfront earlier today, seeing how you stepped up to stop the terror that was happening, I was hoping that you four would be that unit.
I don't really think Bay City is going to really accept four vigilantes as the rescuers of the city.
If you spin the media right, they will.
Yeah, I've seen what the media can spin. That's not going to be my selling point on this.
You could easily spin it the other way as well, make us take the blame for your actions also. So you have to be a little bit more persuasive than that, sir.
I don't want to be in the media.
Then tell me what it is you need me to do to make this work.
At this point, Spectre pulls down his hood so everyone can see like his ghostly figure. Looks directly at Mr. Casey and says, "This. We want transparency. No more beating around the bush. No more speaking in riddles. We want transparency."
I want my city to be able to sleep at night knowing that if something happens, there's not a fear of their building collapsing. There's not a fear of them losing their loved ones. This city is going to hell. The government is corrupt. The cops are corrupt. The mobs are running the city, and there is something else out there that's causing this. Maybe it's one of the mobs. Who knows? But I develop things to save people. And I can't save them even with all the technology that I've developed. I need help doing that.
You apparently know us and where we've come from. Do you have the answers I'm looking for?
I can use everything in my disposal to help you find the answers you're looking for. I did not look into anything more than your names, so I would know who I was talking to. I could have, but that would have been invasive, and had I done that, then the chances of you agreeing to help me would have gone down significantly.
Well, I think you know a little bit more about us than just our names because you didn't even flinch when I pulled my hood down.
It has nothing to do with flinching and everything to do with... I've been in very, very tough business negotiations with people before. If you flinch at all, you lose contracts.
You're not getting a contract for me. There's nothing you could pay me. There's nothing you could offer me that would make me want to work for you.
Then how about with me?
I'm still struggling to see where I'm working with you when it is you that we are working to protect the city against, or at least your research, your technology, your after effects.
You're not wrong. What happened at the waterfront today, I will take full responsibility for it. While I'm not the one who caused the explosion, it was my nanotechnology. I take responsibility for that. And there are multiple ways that I could go about figuring this out and trying to stop it. But I know, after what you saw them too, you saw what it did to those 3 individuals, and I guarantee it did it to more people. I can't stop them on my own. I know I can't. First time I would step up and try, I would be a dead man. I'm asking for help.
So, in reality, this isn't too far from Stark Industries. Just, you're not Stark, so you need people.
Stark is an egomaniacal bag who had a near-death experience that changed his outlook, who is trying desperately to change his reputation. This is an accident that is my responsibility, and I'm doing everything I can to fix it. If you want to draw the similarities to Stark, you can. But believe me when I say, if I was Stark, then I would have already injected myself with the nanites and have been out there taking care of it and not coming to you guys and pleading my case for your help.
Can we roll our perception to gauge his honesty, I should say?
Insight check. As far as you can tell, he is being 100% honest and as transparent as he can be.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Plus 10 to that.
Yeah. You're still a little jumpy at everything, so it sounds passionate and honest, but your innate paranoia won't let you fully believe it. You know the same thing that Malkier knows, that it sounds like he's being as honest and as transparent as he can be.
Lucha kind of fidgets with his hands.
At this point, I'm going to look first at Anton and say, who exactly are you?
Anton. And that's as much as you need to know.
That's not good enough to go to battle with, sir. You got to do better than that.
If we're looking for trust in battle, then there's no conversation we're going to have here that's going to instill that.
I didn't smash you with my hammer at first sight. That should be the trust you need.
Lucha kind of gets in your eyesight, waves, and says, "I'm Brandon. I sell fish down at the dock."
Now, side note, would we know that Brandon was the otter at this point?
No, because nobody got the perception check to see him transforming or to go behind Anton, so no.
I think one of you definitely saw Human Lutra in the intro of that whole thing. He was the guy enthusiastically trying to sell fish and failing miserably.
I heard you, but I didn't see you.
That's right. Okay. So Lucha looks like he's calming a little bit. It says, "But if we can help people, then I think maybe we should. I don't know. I think helping's good. I like to help."
I have no problem helping people. What I have a problem with is if we think we're helping people, but we're actually helping the wrong people. I just want to make sure it's the right people.
Then how can I prove to you that I'm being transparent?
All I can promise you is you better not cross us. I'm not even speaking for the other three. You better not cross me. Because I think you're very well aware of what can happen if you do.
As I said, I have armed you with information that will ruin me if it leaks.
I ain't gonna ruin you through information. No, that's not my style. You have my help. But it's not without a weary lead.
I'll give you a chance. But like he said, you cross me, the information's not your problem.
Yeah, it's obvious that he can destroy you.
I'm pretty sure there's not much he can't destroy.
I'll go for now until I find myself in a place where I can't get the information I'm looking for. And if you don't come through with your information, I will leave. And there's nothing you can do to that'll stop me.
What information are you looking for?
I think you know what I'm referring to already.
Are you referring to the fact that it was extremely difficult for me to find any information at all on you, including your name? Or the fact that there is a timeline that matches up what foot traffic or bus travel would be from the East Coast to here?
It would be along that lines, yes.
Do I have information on them? No. But if you give me some parameters to work with, I might be able to find something.
As I said, I'll help you for now, until I prove my worth otherwise.
Also, Mr. Casey, one other stipulation.
Yes.
I'm no longer referred to as Mr. Mistral. My name is Spectre now. I have left that identity behind because that is no longer my identity, as you can clearly see.
Fair enough. So 3 of you are on board. That just leaves our fishmonger.
I don't think he's going to help us. We should leave him here.
He said I wanted to help.
You don't have the spine to help.
I mean, he has fish.
He does, and I mean, from what the video shows, he was very, very excited about the fish.
So he can cook us dinner. Let's put him in the mess hall. This is men's work at this point.
I can help. I just don't know if I can trust anybody. I don't know if I want to let... He stops talking.
If you'd like to trust, what would you like to know? I'll let you know anything about myself, which, given what I just told Mr. Casey here, is quite a bit because, well, there's part of me that I don't divulge to anyone. So, if you'd like something for that trust, you came with us on the helicopter ride. There's no point in not
I had to get away from
keeping you around.
I had to get away from the police. They're always looking for me, even when they're not. They always are. I'm not from here.
Real quick, Lutra, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Already?
Yep.
Perception. Yep.
All right. Most of you didn't really pay much attention to what was going on, or the monitors around the room, because you were too busy having a conversation. But Lutra's paranoia has him darting all around and looking. And one of the things that's up on the big sort of giant monitor, you know, the typical giant big screen that superhero hideouts have, it looks like is all the security cams of all of the rooms that aren't bedrooms that are, you know, within the facility itself. With the 22, Lutra definitely catches the eye of one in particular, and it is a research laboratory.
Lutra's eyes widen. He looks over at Thomas and says, "You're gonna put me in there, aren't you?"
Put you in where?
That's why you brought me here. He steps away from Thomas, and goes towards Spectre.
Put you in where? I'm not gonna...
Research lab. It's the only reason I'm here.
Why would I put you in a research lab? You have...
That's where everyone puts me.
Is there something about you that needs to be looked into? Are you suffering from a disease of some sort that you need just to look at?
I was raised in a laboratory by government doctors who do nothing but research on me. It's exactly what you want. You just said you do all these machines. You're gonna turn my tail into a machine gun or something.
You don't have a tail!
Lutra immediately looks at himself and says, "Oh, right. I meant, I didn't mean tail. I meant arm. Yes."
Do I know something's up now?
Yup.
Hey, bud. I want to show you something quick. And this should tell you that you have nothing to worry about. And at that point, Spectre's body just evaporates.
Whoa.
And reappears on the other side of the room.
What the hell?
There's no laboratory that can hold you.
Lucha watches this in utter shock.
In utter shock?
Outer shock, yes. Kind of gives a sigh and reaches down for his belt. Taps a few buttons. And before you, shimmies, his body basically light reflects and shimmies into the form of a 5-foot anthropomorphic otter.
There's the being that was a lot more fierce.
Yeah. Yeah. That was unexpected.
He's still looking over. His eyes are still darting around all over the place. Like, I don't know where I came from exactly, but all I know is that they told me I came from space. And they found me when my ship crashed. And as a kid, I was raised in all your government laboratories. All they did was test me. And test me. It was terrible.
As you're telling the story, you can see Thomas's face getting more and more angry and contorting as you're telling it. And this is the first time you've seen him not be as stoic. And he's sort of, well, I might not know what government facility took you, but I will promise you this. I'm going to find the sons of bitches who did that to you, and we're going to make sure they never do it to anyone again. Let me rephrase that. If you would like to.
I don't necessarily want to hurt any human. It wasn't necessarily their fault. They had their orders from their government. One of the doctors is the reason I escaped. And he gave me this. He created this belt for me. It helps me hide. And they're looking for me. They're always looking for me. I've been able to stay away for a few years now. That's why I always wear my human body. It's just easier to hide that way.
You're not incorrect there. And I'll promise you this, no one will find you in here.
You understand why I saw your lab and I got nervous. I'm sorry.
It's understandable.
I'm gonna look at Anton and at this point ask if he wants to share anything with us at this point.
I've been military before.
Well, this is not military.
That I can be glad of.
So, what are we, your personal bodyguards then?
No. Not at all. As I said, I want to make sure this city can sleep at night. And you four are the first four who I've seen since I've been looking who I think can be the people to do it.
As I said, you have my help. You obviously could tell that I can vanish in a second if I no longer trust you.
But of course.
You have me for now.
I'll help.
All right. Feel free to use anything in here that you'd like. This is considered a home, a second home, whatever you'd like. If you'd like me to have someone come up to cook, if no one knows how to, we can do that.
I can cook fish pretty well.
Don't you just eat it raw?
No. Ew. That's disgusting. You have some dignity, sir.
At this point, Thomas walks over to Spectre, and whispers, "We need to take the otter to a sushi bar."
Deers perk up. Well, I mean,
I don't have that much money.
I do. Thank you, gentlemen, very much.
Out of curiosity,
Sorry, go ahead.
that warehouse that, set the otter off. Where is that?
Who are you talking to when you ask that question?
You.
Okay, what?
Casey.
What warehouse?
Whatever it was on the monitor that set the otter off.
Oh,
The research lab.
one floor below, second door on your left.
Lucha eyes the ground.
Spectre doesn't move. The answer gave him all the information he wanted.
Any other... Before he can say the word questions, you hear one of those intercom beep type of deals. You know, like someone's trying to page somebody.
Thomas Casey. Phone call. Line 1.
It's kind of, but it just it is a lady's voice, a female's voice, and you just hear, "Turn on the news now, Dr. Casey." To which he'll grab a remote and turn it on, pick your news channel, local or otherwise. Local news channel around here, they're all reporting on it. What you see is some grainy footage, cell phone footage. Because keep in mind, this is 2008. May of 2008 to be specific.
Oh god, it's vertical too.
Yeah. So some grainy cell phone footage of... You don't really get the otter versus the water controller fight. You really don't get a whole lot of Spectre or Party Boy and the otter, but you get a pretty decent looking cell phone. You can't really pick up too many people in it, of the Malkier Anton versus Plant Creature fight. You also get some footage from other places that have, cameras, high rises, things like that, in the area of the explosion. And the big thing that you see on the explosion is that you guys really didn't see it because where you were sort of ground level, and it sort of knocked you for a little bit of a what the hell was that type of deal. But in this footage from far away, the explosion happens, and you'll get the sort of explosion. I don't want to say mushroom cloud, but you know what I'm talking about, that bursting explosion type of deal. And normally you would expect it to be, red, the color. If it was going to be fire, you expect it to not be, to be like sort of a reddish hue. This entire explosion is silver. And for those of you, I will give you all this for free. Thomas's face goes pale.
I'm gonna look. Well, should we do an insight to see if we notice that his face is gone? They just start looking nervous at this point.
Nope, it's free.
All right, so I'm gonna look at him and ask him what relevance this has to him.
That silver cloud is nanites. And they just didn't, if you look at the explosion, they got dispersed everywhere. It wasn't just a localized thing. And with this footage, there'll be a lot of questions coming my way.
How did they get your technology?
They didn't really. The explosion in the warehouse would have caused what was being stored there to, get blown out like it was debris.
Why would you store nanite technology in that warehouse?
Because people are constantly trying to steal it, and any building attached to my name, people would look for it. So an off-the-grid warehouse that has no connection to me,
Still goes boom.
yeah, still goes boom, which, oh, son of a bitch. If they know where the first one is, they know where the second one is. Crap.
Maybe we should go head them off now, if it's reasonably close to where we are.
It's close enough by the transportation you guys have on the top of the building. Spectre, I assume you can fly aircraft?
Is that a joke?
You'll find a nice high-tech jet up there. The address will be pre-programmed in.
Do you have more weaponry for us?
No, but I can procure some for your next time you need them. Remember, I try to do things pacifist.
Pacifism isn't my game, my friend. You know this.
True, but remember, you can buy whatever weapons you need with your paycheck.
One question for you.
Answer.
Do you know any of the names of the individuals who attacked us on the seaside?
I don't.
That could have been really beneficial.
But I can definitely have look into it for you. If they have names that are going to be fun to any information at all, I should have it by the time you get back.
If you get any names, I want you to forward them to my buddy, who's an ex-CIA official. Don't have to tell him information. Just say, and you can use my name, Gail. Just say Gail is requesting any background on these individuals. Because he should be able to get you any information you want.
And this gentleman's name?
His name is Joseph Blank.
I will do so.
So, which way to the airport carrier?
Right back where we entered. But instead of going to the rooftop access, take the door to the right. It's a hangar.
With that, Spectre leaves.
Alright, and with that, if anyone needs to take a quick bathroom break / refreshment refill, now would be the time to do it. Take 5.
Okay.
I'm back.
Hi, back.
If you hear yelling in the background, I apologize. My dad is in some good bit of pain at the moment.
That's fine. Alrighty, everybody back?
I'm back.
I'm back.
Nope.
Well, you don't count anyway.
I'm sorry to have my headphones back.
When Spectre walks into the hangar, it's like the most kiddish you'll see him because he immediately runs to the jet and jumps into the seat and like gets really giddy at all the switches.
Even with your background in military fighter jets, this is the most advanced thing you've ever seen.
I'm still giddy.
Oh yeah, no, you are a kid on Christmas morning.
Okay, as we walk to the jet, I'm going to put my hand on Lucha's shoulder and look at him and go, "Are you sure you're ready for this? Are you going to have our back?"
Lucha looks over just at June's. Yeah, no, I want to help.
I get you want to help, but do you have the spine to do what's needed?
Yeah, I helped before. He was just more scared he was gonna experiment on me.
Very well. I'm going to join Spectre going into their shuttle.
I walk over towards the shuttle, but I stop in a place where everybody can see me. Lucha says, "Oh, I should show you something. I should show you something." And before anybody asks, he immediately starts like hitting buttons on his belt, and then completely disappears. And then you hear his voice say, "See? Look.
Nice parlor trick. Let's go.
Lucha frowns, gets on the plane, but he's still invisible. Because he forgot to tear his belt off.
Alright, so you guys make it onto the plane, not a problem. Spectre does find the address punched in, so it's pretty easy to get to. And like the one on the waterfront, this is out in one of the older more rundown areas. This one, because the waterfront section was in the San Francisco part of Bay City, this one's on the outskirts of the slums of Oakland. When you get to above the warehouse, how are you approaching from there?
Can we do a perception check to see what's around it?
You certainly can.
Okay, so I will start doing that.
Alright, so the two of you, as you approach, it's in an industrial district, or what used to be an industrial district. It kind of looks very, run down. It's that typical, bad side of town, old rundown, brick building looking type of deal.
Is the roof pitched?
No, it's flat.
Okay, so I can land the jet right on top of it.
You can.
Okay, I do so.
All right, so landing on the roof, I need to make a couple of rolls for myself now.
Lucha pads over to the Spectre and says, how'd you learn to fly something like this?
I used to be a pilot in my previous life, if you want to call it that.
Oh.
I'm gonna look over at Spectre and ask what his combat proficiency is.
Combat proficiency?
Combat knowledge? Like, what are you enabled at doing?
I can sort of manipulate elements around me. Use them to my advantage. I mean, if you ask what weapon I use guns, but not very
Basically,
often.
I'm asking what your combat experience is, how adept at you are at combat.
Oh, I mean, I was a fighter pilot, so that should tell you. I was a fighter pilot, major in the U.S. Air Force, so I'm quite adversed. It doesn't mean I am seeking combat, though.
All right, as you two are having this discussion, everyone can go ahead and roll me perception checks now that you're on the roof. Also, it's a 2-story warehouse for those wondering.
My rolls, man.
Get them out of the way for skill checks so you roll well on combat, right? Unfortunately, the Spectre and Malkir's conversation, they don't hear anything through their conversation. Anton also does not hear anything. Lutra, on the other hand, Lutra definitely hears coming through the roof the sounds of what sounds like people scrambling, almost like they heard a giant plane land on the roof and now they're scrambling to find something or to hide, one of the two.
Lucha immediately passes this information on to everybody else.
How many people does it sound like?
With a 33, it sounds like 3 of them.
3 of them.
Doesn't matter if it's 1 or 3 of them. There's someone in an abandoned factory. That doesn't. It doesn't sound right.
Agreed. We probably shouldn't be on top of this roof in case something does explode.
Well, there is no side ladder. So you're getting down, you're jumping.
Are there any vents on the roof?
There are a couple of vents on the roof, yes.
Are they large enough for a something to get in?
Give me a quartile. That'd be 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, or 16 to 20.
I'm sorry, what?
Give me a quartile, which is a set of 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, or 16 to 20.
Am I rolling something or just giving you the number?
Just give me one of those 4 sets.
All right, 16 to 20.
Unfortunately, it is not big enough for you to fit in.
How about me?
Absolutely.
That's no problem for me.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about the guy who can turn into gas.
Would any of you like to ride down to the ground?
I'll take a ride. I'm not fitting through that pipe.
I'll go. Lucho will look like he is going to go into the pipe. And looks at you guys and say, "Maybe I'll sneak in here, and you guys go a different way, and we can try to surround them or stop them or something."
I jump in the jet to give Malkare and Anton a boost onto the ground, and then immediately after, I move the jet away from the building, and then return.
And so I'll jump down the vent.
Is there any way to get rid of this turn order box? Let's keep it in the way.
If you click to where you can move it and just drag it off to the side of the, or TG can get rid of it too.
Yeah, it's gone.
It'll probably be coming back for initiative. So who's going in through what areas?
I'm going in through that vent we found.
Okay.
Since we're on the outside of it now, what are we looking at? Like, do we see multiple entrances? Do we see access points?
Well, you see a grand total of 2 entrance or access egress points. There's the door, and there is the garage opening.
What say you all? Do we go in together? Or do we go in separately? If we go in separately, we cover more ground. If we go in together, it's more safety in numbers.
I have no clue what you guys are doing because I'm parking in the jet.
Let's go in together. I'll lead.
Normally, I would make you roll a strength check for whichever door you're planning on going into, but I know for a fact that Anton is going to wreck this door.
I'm going to ready my laser sword and call reasonably close to Anton, but not close enough to get in the way of his hammer.
And going for the non-garage door. Right.
So that's down there. Alrighty, so, real quick. Lutra will be... Alright, that's roughly where you guys are going to be coming in. As I said, this isn't D&D, this is mostly just for reference.
Gotcha.
But the one thing I will give you is that they all... they definitely all noticed the jet that was landing on top of the roof, and they all definitely notice the clanging of the giant man in armor coming through. So what I'm going to need now from everybody is the turn order box is going to be popping back up because we are going to be on initiative.
trying to locate that. Give me 1 second.
It's under offense. It's the first option. Right under where all your dodge, parry, and fortitude are.
Sorry, 10, my bad. Just still figuring out how this works. Give me 1 second. Okay, so it's here, 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 Alrighty, I think I figured this out now. Alright, so we're going to start with the Asian-looking gentleman token, who definitely does not see the otter in the rafters, but definitely does
Yay.
hear these two crazies. So he is going to jump over one set of boxes, which he can do with ease based on his athletics and acrobatics, and position himself behind the second set of boxes, which you may or may not know he's there. We'll get to that if we need to. But Anton is up.
Alright, did I notice him?
Go ahead and roll me perception. You did.
I want to slowly move move the stack of boxes out of my path.
You can do that, not a problem.
Towards his general direction.
All right, you can definitely get to in front of the stack of boxes where he is without a problem. That's very easy to do.
And I'd like to address the person what are you doing here?
You get no response.
Ready my hammer.
Hammer is ready.
I'm out of actions, right?
You would be out of actions, yeah.
Okay.
All right, Malkir is up.
All right, so I'm going to do a perception as well, see if I notice anything differently.
All right, you have to beat a 15.
Damn it.
You don't, but you do see Anton talking to the boxes across the way from him, so you're pretty sure something's there.
All right, I'm going to go climb like right here, so I'm like on top of one of the second ones. I'm going to ready my rifle over that green box and point it like towards where Anton's looking, but not like in his way.
Alrighty, rifle.
Like a covering fire stance.
Nope, that's fine. Rifle is ready.
All right, and then I will end.
Well, he surprisingly doesn't see you readying the rifle, but he definitely sees the giant metal man, even with the one on perception, because it's kind of hard to miss Anton. So the interesting thing is going to be that you don't necessarily see this at first, but coming up behind Anton, it almost looks like there's just a fist coming at Anton to punch him. And for the three of you who are here, Lutra, Anton, and Malkir, it's coming on the... It looks like a fist attached to a giant rubber band. And the emo kid in the corner, who you may or may not be able to see afterwards, is attacking Anton with Snapback Strike. So, unfortunately for you, I just crit. So my question to you is, your parry that's written down plus 10, what is it?
$18.
Alright, so 31, because this thing has multi-attack, because basically it's coming at you and it's just sort of like hitting you like once on the fourth, once as it's coming and once on the backhand, which is why it's called Snapback Strike. So it's going to hit, multi-attack hits you by all three tiers, which means it's going to get a plus 5 bonus on its attack there, and another plus 5 because it crit you. So you have to make a toughness save. The DC is 36.
Oh!
That is amazing. You take a bruise and a bruise only, sir. And as you look, because you can follow the arm back to where he is standing, you just see him shaking his hand like it hurt to punch the giant metal thing in the jaw.
Like punching Colossus.
Pretty much. Lutra
Why
is
did
up.
I do that?
Well, Lutra is up. And for the,
Okay, what can I see?
you
What
can
can I see from where I'm at?
You can pretty much see everything that's laid out on the battlefield. You definitely just saw the giant hand. You see the Asian man, who now that you actually can get a slightly better look at him. He almost... Do you remember watching the original Power Rangers?
Oh, yes.
It looks like a male version of Scorpina.
Wow. Okay.
Basically,
Wow.
It looks like a male version of Scorpina.
I see.
I didn't dare look up Rule 63 Scorpina. I didn't dare.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so... I'm trying to think the best way to handle this.
And give me a perception check real quick. You also notice off in the upper right-hand corner there, the fat-looking dude who... It looks like he's just burning stuff. Like, he's just laughing and burning stuff.
Okay. Alright. I'm trying to think of the best way to handle this. How far can I go from where I'm at?
Using the beams, the rails on the top, you can attack any one of them.
Okay. Well, trying to think here. I think I'm gonna go after the stretchy guy in the bottom.
Alrighty.
So I would go in his general direction using these rafters, whatnot, and then attempt. And I get close enough, I attempt to pounce him with my teeth and claws.
Alrighty, well, yes, he rolled a 1 on his perception check earlier. He does not see you. He is actually going to be considered vulnerable for this attack.
Nice. So does that give me I forget. What does that do?
Vulnerable cuts his active defenses in half. Okay. So, for example, say your parry was a 12, it would reduce it to a 6.
Gotcha. So my attack's a 24.
24 will hit. Does Claws and Teeth have multi-attack? I can't remember. I think it does.
Yes, it is.
Then you'll hit by all 3 tiers as well. So he's going to have to make a DC 31.
Ooh.
He'll take a bruise. And you take a bite. And it's exactly what you'd expect. It's like you're biting into a piece of rubber.
Ew. Fast grab. I grab him.
You try and latch on. Unfortunately, he just sort of elastically slinks out of it. Because of the nature of his powers, he has immunity to being grabbed.
Gotcha. I'm then going to use move by action and probably go back closer towards Anton, just to not be next to this guy.
Alrighty, you have enough movement to get to about here.
That's fine.
But it is the pyromaniac's turn, and he's just laughing maniacally and basically setting that whole corner of the warehouse on fire. Spectre.
Well, considering what happened before, I don't trust fire. So, I sort of...
That's my fire.
Oh, nice. I moved down a little bit to the other edge and sort of... Let me do a draw here. I basically throw a wind blast right at the green rays there to try to blow him towards him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me to hit anyway, just to ensure you don't roll a 1. I'm sitting here talking, forgetting push to talk is on. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll anyway, just to make sure you don't roll a 1. All right, you will definitely hit in his general area. Now I have to draw something else real quick.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the crates caught fire as they were flying towards him anyway.
Yeah. I'm just marking down the crates you've hit. The crates will catch on fire because he himself is kind of on fire.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's going to take a bruise from it, but he's going to take less damage than he would have because a lot of it just catches on fire. You got lucky in the sense of the crate you threw at him had some heavy objects in it. It is the Asian guy's turn. And since, Norester is right there, sorry, Anton is right there, he's going to just jump on the boxes, jump over the boxes, and he sees you in this giant armor, so he's pretty sure that he's not going to be able to get to poison you at all. So instead, he's going to attack you. He's basically just thinking he's punching at you, but out of his hand, similar to how Scorpion in Mortal Kombat works, there's not one stinger, there's a bunch of them. He's attacking you with Stinger Barrage.
Who's attacking? I'm sorry.
Anton. I know that multi-attack hits, so this time it's not quite a 36. It's only a DC 28 this time. Toughness check from Anton.
You said toughness, right?
Yes, sir. All right, you'll take another bruise. Unluckily for him, though, it is now Anton's turn.
You dare hit me?
Yeah, it's time for the hammer. We're going to use... we'll use the base hammer strike.
All right, 24 will hit our Scorpion friend. And you knock him upside the head pretty good. He thinks he's dodged a little bit of it, and you whack him pretty good. He'll take a bruise, and he's dazed. And what really sucks for him is Malkir's up.
All right, so I'm pretty sure he's in just plain view of what I can see, right? He's just like right in front of me almost.
He's basically up on top of the boxes. You saw a bunch of stingers come up from his hand and attack Anton. So yeah, you have a very good view of this Rule 63 Scorpina.
All right, so I'm gonna just center right between his eyes and use my X-ray laser rifle.
All right, you know the drill. Roll the hit. That, unfortunately, is not going to hit. You're not quite sure how, because most people don't dodge out of the way of that, but in the span of you aiming and firing and him getting whacked with the hammer, he manages to just barely dodge out of the way of it. It is now the stretchy kid's turn. And yes, I say kid because, Lutra, you do notice now as you're coming up, this looks like a teenager.
Oh, wow.
But you bit him, so he's kind of cranky at you.
Wait, I have acne cream.
He is going to attack. He's basically firing his fist at you again. He's attacking you with Snapback Strike. Damn it, Grim!
Did I distract him?
You know, I would say yes, but you said Crim yells, which I was out of character.
Yeah, I know. My character wouldn't do that.
Nope, but I'm pretty sure in 28 does hit Lutra.
Yeah.
By how many tier? What's your base dodge? Or base parry,
12.
excuse me.
Or 13.
So 13, 23. So it's only going to hit you by one tier, so I just need a DC 26 toughness save.
No, that requires me to roll a natural 20. Toughness.
So you take a bruise.
What does that do again exactly?
Every bruise that you take reduces your toughness by 1. So if you have 2 bruises, instead of having a +6, you have a +4 effectively. It's basically a negative add-on to your roll.
Okay.
But in other news, you're up.
Yay. Try to see, is there a place on this sheet here to put that in?
You can always put negative totals in the miscellaneous. I just keep track of it. I keep track of it here anyway, so I know. I keep track of it here, and I subtract it from your rolls, so don't worry about it.
Fair enough. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so look back at the teenager. And he gets all cutie-eyed Ottered. Looks at the teenage boy and says, "You wouldn't try to hit an otter like me, would you?" Using agile feint.
Roll it. Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Ew.
Yeah, he is not fooled at all. Nor does he care. Good news, though, you made me waste a 20.
Alright, so,
You just hear this. I don't care how cute
Where's
you
that?
are. You're in my way. So yeah, I will hurt you.
Okay, let me think.
Do we have pictures of these guys in the notes?
I haven't added them yet. I can if you give me a second.
Trying to think of the best way to handle this.
I'm not gonna look yet because I want to keep on imagining Fire Guy's Will Wheaton because in the small little box he looks like him.
Not Will Wheaton. I will tell you that the portrait I picked for the Scorpion is Michael Paul Chan.
Is the emo kid someone from Persona?
I looked up.
Almost looks like.
I looked up black-haired emo kid online, and that's what I came up with. That's what they gave me.
Gotcha. Excuse me. I'm actually gonna go with a defensive attack.
Do you have the advantage?
Oh, I don't know if I need that. That's a good point. I don't think I do.
Well, if you don't have the advantage, then you can only do
Wait.
+2, -2. If you have the
Hold on.
advantage, you can do +5, -5.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't. I do not. So yeah, plus. So yeah, I was thinking -2 to my attack roll.
And that's +2 to your active defenses. So I did post a picture of the emo kid in handout, so if you want to see it, you can.
Aww.
Ah,
Already
okay.
there.
He's not the Persona kid.
He's not the Persona kid.
That's what I was curious about.
Alright. Subtract 2 from this. 21.
You still hit him either way.
Oh, nice. No, never mind.
You don't hurt him, but you hit him.
Then I'm. How much further away can I move with my attack? My action move by action thing.
Where do you want to go?
I'm gonna get closer back to the party. Not liking this being alone kind of thing.
There, give or take.
Yay! Alright, I'm done.
Alrighty, it is now our fire guy's turn, and he is pissed because somebody interrupted his fun. So he is going to basically you've seen, like the flames behind somebody where they're propelling themselves forward in flight. He's doing that, and unfortunately for Nerestra, he's coming at the biggest thing he sees. He's not really smart enough to realize that it probably wasn't the giant guy in armor who attacked him, but he doesn't care. So he's basically standing right here, and because he has the capability of doing so, oh yeah, well within his range, he is going to attack with Flamethrower. So, Anton, go ahead and make a dodge check. Alrighty, so you managed to dodge mostly out of the way of the fire. So what's going to happen now is the way I like to rule the way dodges work on these is if you make it by 1 tier, which you did, it will reduce the DC result by 5. If you make it by 2 tiers, you cut the DC in half. And if you make it by 3 tiers, then you completely avoid it. You made it by 1. So what is your impervious rating on your toughness?
Where's... What am I looking for?
I'll pull it up, and
Okay.
unfortunately your impervious not quite gonna soak this, so I still need you to make our toughness save. DC 20 though. Oh wait, hold on, wrong one. I was looking at the wrong one. Well, you'll soak it either way, so. Like, he blasts you with his flamethrower, and it's sort of the cool superhero effect where it just sort of like hits you, goes past you, like chars the door, and you just sort of stand there like, really, you done? It's kind of badass looking for all of you watching.
Lucha smiles
Yep, and Spectre's up.
and claps.
You're an otter, not a seal.
But I clap.
I'm doing the same thing as last time at these two.
Okay. In this case, give me a number 1 to 20.
Eight.
Okay. You're fine.
I'm fine. Meaning what?
Meaning you're fine. Roll to hit.
Okay, that's what I was asking. No, I'm not fine.
No, you throw the boxes just fine, but your timing's a little off, and you throw them into his flamethrower. But this guy is, hurting a little bit. Back to the top of our order here. But he's still, you just whacked him upside the head with a hammer. So he's going to, again, return the favor. And he's pretty sure he can't actually get you with his poison. So he's going to attack you again with Stinger Barrage. And apparently the GM just wants to kill everybody tonight with his attack rolls. I'm going to need another DC 28 toughness save, please, Anton. Alrighty. You'll end up taking a bruise. But it's your turn.
Alright, Poison Dude's getting a little bit too close to me. I'm going to... He's in grabbing range.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to try to throw him at the guy throwing fire at me.
Alright, first things first, go ahead and make me an unarmed attack check. We'll add in bonus for that. Alrighty. You will grab him. Now go ahead and make me a throw check. Well, you pick him up. You chuck him. You don't quite reach. Because you go to throw him at the fire guy, but you overcompensate a little bit, and instead of throwing him at the guy, you just sort of throw him into the ground.
That's still gonna hurt, right?
Oh, he's still going to have to make the save, but yeah, you just sort of... You know that scene in the first Avengers where Hulk just whams Loki back and forth over and over again?
Ah.
Yeah, Anton just did that to Stinger.
He got these hands.
He got those hands, that's for sure. He'll be under bruise in another days. Go ahead, and it's Makir's turn now after he just got Loki'd everywhere.
So is Asian guy on the ground at the moment, like on his back, or is he?
Yes.
So if I leap off these boxes and come down with my laser sword, would I have an advantage on him?
You would.
Then that is what I shall do.
Roll the laser sword. will definitely hit because he's technically considered defenseless. You don't quite get him, but you will give him 2 more bruises and the staggered condition, so you get him pretty good. He's feeling a little hurt here. All right, so it is now time for our stretchy man. And at this point, he sees 3 of you guys are all bundled together nicely. So what you don't see in the corner is him sort of snapping his body all together, and he's wrapping himself into a ball shape. And he is attacking Lutra, Anton, and Malkir with pinball shot.
Question. Is this considered some kind of area effect attack?
It is an area of effect attack.
As it just so happens, I have evasion 2, circumstance bonus to avoid area of effects.
Alrighty, evasion, what it does is if you have evasion 1, it adds a +2 to your dodge roll to avoid area of effects. If you have evasion 2, it adds a +5.
There you go.
So I need dodge checks from the 3 people I mentioned.
Oh, we have to just roll the dodge right there.
Yep.
So it's that +5 then.
So it'd be a 23. Okay, the dodgy one actually rolled lowest. I love it. So you are all going to manage to avoid getting hit square on. Nerestra, if we're going to start with Anton, Anton's going to dodge it enough to, the impervious protection from the armor is going to just completely absorb it, so you don't have to roll a damn thing. Malkir is going to pass by 2 tiers, so you're going to go ahead and roll a DC 13 toughness save. And Lutra's going to have to roll a DC 21. Well, you have a couple of options. You can take the 2 bruises and the staggered condition, or you can pay one of your 2 hero points to reroll.
Probably going to do that.
You now have 1 hero point, and you get to reroll. If you roll a 10 or less, you can add 10 to the roll.
Improved roll, right?
Yep, it is the improve roll option.
I rolled a 6, I think.
You actually take a 16 there then.
Wait, I don't know what.
Your toughness is a 6. You roll the 4.
I rolled a 4.
So 14 plus 6 is 20. You'll end up with a bruise.
That's 2.
Yep. So after he hits Anton, he basically gets sort of rocked. So instead of going back to where he was, he ends up sort of half in a heap where he is now. But it's the otter's turn.
Oh.
Can I look at him and shout finish off the poison dude?
You can do whatever you want.
Alright, so I'm gonna say, Lutra, finish this guy off so we can focus on the other 2.
Although I must say I'm disappointed in you right now. I've been playing off he's been a Scorpion analog and you didn't just yell finish him.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. Lucha looks at you and just kind of nods and looks at the Scorpion dying. What is he on the ground vulnerable kind
He
of thing?
is prone, yes.
Is that what this finishing attack is for?
Finishing attack, he can technically still resist, so you can't do a finishing attack right now.
Okay, never mind. It's sad. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So I guess I'll just attack him with teeth and claws.
Alrighty.
One second. She keeps closing.
So you'll end up hitting by all 3 tiers. No, 2 tiers, my bad. Excuse me, 2 tiers. So it's the +3 to this roll. So we're going to -4 from that. So yeah, you're not going to end up killing him, but you are going to take a big old chunk out of him, and he's definitely incapacitated. You broke yourself off a piece of scorpion.
Yay!
Does it taste like Kit Kat bars?
What's up?
Does it taste like a Kit Kat bar?
Basically, yeah. There's a big chunk missing from this guy's arm, and he is incapacitated.
Okay. I'm going to move kind of down here to not be so grouped up.
Fair enough. It's the fire
So
guys.
is Scorpion like gone now, or?
Yeah, I'm leaving the body on the map right now, just because you didn't kill anybody. So, but yeah, he's out of the turn order, so he's incapacitated. It's the fire guy's turn. He now. Well, let me check. Hold on. Spectre, are you trying to hide?
I don't know. How dark is it on the rafters?
I mean, decently enough. It's got like the swinging style lights.
Because I'm like back against the wall, so.
All right, so
I mean, I'm shadow, but I'm not. It's not like I'm actively trying to hide.
All right, so what's your passive stealth then?
Just my modifier?
Modifier +10.
16.
All right, so he does in fact see you then, because you're not actively trying to hide. And he's now smart enough to know that it wasn't the giant guy with the hammer who attacked him, because he watched the giant guy with the hammer chuck the scorpion dude. So he loves watching things burn. He's kind of angry that you stopped him from burning things, so he's going to burn you. He's attacking you with Immolate. And basically this fire sort of appears, and he just sends a rush of fire at you. But he's going to miss, I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
He's now getting pissed. It's almost like he's throwing a temper tantrum. But you're up anyway.
Okay, so seeing that he saw me now, I'm actually going to fly over to this rafter, basically right above him, and basically assault him with an air blast from right above.
All right, roll to hit. You definitely hit with that. He definitely takes a bruise and a daze from that. He's even angrier now. But it's Anton's turn. The scorpion guy's down and out, and the rubber teenager just sort of bounced off you like nothing happened. Because nothing happened.
So there's. Okay, so I have the teenagers now behind me, basically.
Yeah, he bounced off your armor and sort of gave himself a headache.
Well, let's give him a bigger headache. I'm gonna turn around and use Earth Shatter on him.
Okay, so that's. Go ahead and hit the button so I know what I'm doing. Well, the good thing for you here is the fact that he's already on the ground. So the first part of Earth Shatter tries to get him on the ground. So he's not going to be able to dodge that because he's already on the ground. So he's just going to get the toughness check on this. And bum, 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 bum. Oh, son of a bleep. He'll take a bruise and a daze. Although he was already dazed from your armor. And surprisingly enough... Well, actually, hold on. I have to make a roll for this. You cracked the floor a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Malkier is up.
Alright, give me 1 second to think about this in my head for 1 second.
1.
Alright, I'm gonna go to about... Hold on 1 second, let me grab my guy. So if I move to like down here, so I'm close enough to hit him, am I gonna be in Spectre's range of blast?
No, because it's a specific attack, not an area. So unless it's an area attack, you're fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna move here and attack the Temper Tantrum.
Roll the hit. You will hit with that. And he'll take another bruise, and this time he'll get dazed. So he's still angry, but he's like a little loopy as he's angry. Alright, it is time for our stretchy man. Boy, whatever. And he's realizing that trying to use his bare hands or his body to attack the giant guy in metal armor probably isn't the best idea. So he is instead going to attack the guy who, or the person to him looks the easiest to hit, and that unfortunately is the cute, adorable otter. So he is attacking Lutra with a snapback strike. But he's going to miss. And the otter's up.
I can get up next to him there.
Is the fire in the upper corner still raging?
It is.
Okay. And I'm gonna stand up here and I'm gonna go like, no really! I'm cute! Look at me! I'm gonna use agile feint again. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . 23.
I already said it. I don't care how cute you are. Everything is ugly to me.
I was gonna try to set an Anton.
I know what you're trying to do. I've just been rolling pretty well.
There's nothing else I can really do that can capture his attention, is there?
No, you've already done that.
Alright. Don't suppose that attractive thing would help me any. No, it's interaction based. Never mind. Alright, fine. I guess I'm just gonna attack him again.
Roll. Alright, you did 18. Will hit.
It will?
Yeah, his defenses are only a 7, so 17. 18 beats 17. It's actually a 16, so you'll bruise and daze him yet again.
Nice.
Yeah, you're chomping away, but every time you try and sink your teeth in, he just sort of slinks away.
Right. Oh, there, I softened him up for him, I guess. Quite literally. Ew.
So at this point, Firefly is... Yeah, that's the guy's name, Firefly. And now has 2 people around him. And they're both well within range. So he's just going to summon a fireball. He's immune to his own powers, so he won't be damaged by this. So he's going to basically crash a fireball down right on top of Malkier and Spectre. So I'm going to need dodge checks from both of you.
Are you really gonna need dodge checks?
The attack roll is just part of the thing. The dodge, it's an area effect, so it doesn't actually have a attack roll. That's just part of the way it's programmed. Does anyone have evasion?
Would that be under advantages?
It would be.
I do not.
Grim?
I said no.
All right, well, in that case, then, I'm going to need a DC 25 toughness check from Malkier and a DC 20 toughness check from Spectre. Spectre will make it dead nut. That would be 2 bruises in the staggered condition for Malkier, unless, of course, you wanted to spend your hero point to reroll.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Alrighty. So, based on that, you're going to take a bruise. Much better than the alternative, though.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, it is now Spectre's turn.
Question: did that fireball set stuff on fire here?
Yes, it did. Now give me 2 numbers 1 to 20, please.
6 and 14.
All right. Continue.
Man, I called that right in the middle. Okay, so question. My win conditions.
Yes.
Is that complete air manipulation or just wind manipulation?
That's environmental is specifically for what you have there. That is specifically increasing the speed of the wind or decreasing the speed of the wind. It is not air manipulation in that sense.
Okay.
You could power stunt off your air blast for a nullify ability to be able to nullify fire by putting it out if you want to do, which I think you're trying to do.
Actually, what I was going to do was a lot more damaging. So,
Okay.
but
What do you want to do?
I can't do it. So. Huh?
What did you want to do?
I was going to remove the oxygen from around Firefly.
Yeah, that would be the nullify ability to do that. So yeah, you would just have to power stunt off your air blast to do that.
So what do I need to do again?
Basically, what you're gonna be creating an alternate effect off of your air blast, which is gonna be the nullify power. So basically, it's gonna be the exact same rank as your air blast, which is 9, I believe, or 10.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a rank 9 nullify. So go ahead and roll me. Roll air blast to hit.
Nope.
All right, so unfortunately you will miss him anyway, so the rest of it doesn't matter. Basically, you try to finagle it to do it, and you just you miss.
At least for Dark's sake, I didn't roll 1.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, Anton's up, and I'm pretty sure Stretchy is in deep shit. Pardon my use of language. We'll have to beep that out on the post-broadcast.
And now that I actually have my actual sheet up, I can do some stuff. Let's see. So, he's on the ground, right? He's pretty...
He is, and you just watch him sort of slink out of the teeth of an otter.
Alright, I'm gonna go on an all-out attack.
Alrighty.
My hammer.
All right, so you can go ahead and how much you have? Do you have the advantage all-out attack?
Yes, I do.
All right, so you can go anywhere from +1 -1 all the way up to +5 -5. The +5 goes onto your attack roll. The -5 goes onto your defenses.
I'll go 3.
All right, so make your attack roll. I'll add 3 to it on the backside.
Oof.
Unfortunately, 15 will still miss him.
Oh, darn. I just noticed I should have gotten an extra attack earlier. I missed that ability.
Which one?
I have the takedown effect, so when I knocked...
Well, no, takedown applies to minions, which are basically the lower level thugs. These are not considered minions.
Okay.
So basically takedown, like, you know when you see like the big fights, basically picture the Putty Patrol.
Gotcha.
That's the best way to describe minions. It's the Putty Patrol, because we're doing all kinds of Power Rangers references tonight.
Gotcha.
Yay!
But it's Malkir's turn anyway.
Alright, so I'm going to assault the Pyro Man again.
Himalayan table, course, fine, see?
Huh?
I was naming different types of salt.
Yes, I am slightly salty to that. He set me on fire.
You definitely hit. That's a 16, so that's be another bruise. Really? Where do you find these things? For those of you wondering why I'm reacting to this, there's just been a message posted in Discord
Oh my
of
God.
the White Ranger with an otter face. I can't make this up. Where do you find these?
Google.
Better question is, why do these exist?
I mean, that is a better question.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's great.
And now you need some more
you should flash that on the screen somehow, TG.
Oh, we'll get it. We'll have someone do it in post production. Spoiler alert: we're only pretending these are live.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the emo kid's turn, and he just realizing he's getting his ass kicked. He's just sort of like he ties his own hands up in a knot, like a little bow tie. Just puts his hands above his head and goes, "All right, enough." So he's surrendering. Tommy the White Otter is up.
Yes. Tommy Otter. Perfect. Anyway, so the stretchy guy is giving up, you said?
Yes, he tied his hands into a bow tie, a bow knot, and has hands over his head, and he's just like, all right, enough. He's giving up.
Gotcha. So the only active guy left is Fire Dude, right?
Who seems to be having fun setting a bunch of crap on fire.
Right. Is the how close is the fire to him? Just out of curiosity.
Pretty much exactly how I have it labeled there. It's pretty close to him.
Okay. But I can get up in his face and not be on fire, right?
For right now, yes.
Right. That's. I got an idea. Okay. I'm gonna move over towards him.
I have a question on.
Sure.
I have teamwork +5 bonus to support team checks. What does that?
If you guys decide to do a combined attack, like you want to, like basically, I'm going to use you and Melk here for example. Say you want to hit something with your hammer and his sword at the same time. Whoever has basically one of you will make an attack roll, and if you're doing a teamwork check on whatever roll you're applying, you will be able to normally do only a +2, but with teamwork you can apply +5 instead of +2. So basically, it's yeah. So say, for example, you guys were attacking, and I'm going to use you and Lutra because Lutra's DC is 26. You guys were attacking together. Normally, if you two attack together, you would be able to apply a +2 bonus to damage, making it a 28. With teamwork, you can make it add +5, making it a 31.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to move over here. Now, question. Can you change your standard action to like a move action?
Absolutely.
Alright, I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna try to get this guy's attention. And you look at him and say, "Look! Don't set things on fire! You're gonna hurt the cute little otter!" And I'm gonna try to use Agile Feint on this guy.
Roll it.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna shout, "You idiot! No one thinks you're cute."
Shut up! Nobody thinks I'm cute. Hold on.
He's going to yell back, "He's right, you're ugly. But you can burn anyway," because it's his turn after yours.
Right. Hold on. Try to see if there's something I can do about that. Okay, where was that stupid stuff at? I don't remember. I don't think there's anything I I think I'm actually going. I don't think it's.
Yeah, so as I said, you're right, you are ugly, but you can burn anyway. And he's going to try and light the otter on fire with Immolate.
Ah!
Which I'm pretty sure he does.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Holding on.
I'm going to use. Here we go.
You have interpose, don't you?
Yes, I do.
So you're
I'm going to use interpose
All right. So
with my energy shield.
you haven't actually switched to your array, so you can
Oh.
do that. No. Basically, when you have an array, you can only switch to one effect per turn. You didn't switch the array this
Okay.
turn, so you're fine. So what that will do is that will put you here. And yeah, your energy shield, because I believe that makes it's a concentration 1 plane immune to toughness. So yeah, you'll just eat the immolation. Om nom nom.
Lucha's like flinching with his arms in front of his face. He looks up and he's like, "Oh, hi, thank you."
Spectre is up.
Okay, so this is getting rather dangerous with everyone around. But basically, in anticipation, because I just saw Fire Guy do something, I'm going to move back to on top of this box and basically give a concentrated push of air with my wind conditions at Fire Guy directly towards Anton.
Okay. He feels the push towards it, but he's not moved at all. But I see what you're doing with that. But before we can get to that, it's Anton's turn.
Let's see. This guy. Let's hit him with the hammer.
All right, roll to hit him with your hammer. You successfully hit him with your hammer. And you'll successfully hit him to the tune of 2 bruises and the staggered condition. You hit him with your hammer pretty good.
Alright. That's
Alrighty, Malkir is up.
Okay, I'm up next then.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we have the Scorpion Man incapacitated. Stretchy Man has apparently given up, but
Yep.
I'm still doubtful of that. And Fireman is hurting.
Yep. 5 more, we'll have ourselves a full Mega Man game.
Alright, I'm going to back away from him to about here, and then use my rifle.
You know the drill.
Drill man.
Well, you'll hit. We'll subtract 6 from that, which makes it 13, which is another bruise. And a daze. So yeah, he's a hurting puppy, but he still wants to watch everything burn. The adorable one is up.
Okay, is the fire guy still active?
He is.
Okay. Seriously, though. I'm actually the cutest thing you've ever seen before. Trust me. I'm trying to angel faint one last time. This is gonna work, dang it.
Quit trying to kick his ass.
No!
It will finally work.
Yay!
What are you
Right.
doing with it?
Setup. I'm gonna pass that on to someone else.
You have to specify whom.
I'm trying to think who the best person would be. Anton.
Alrighty, so he is going to be considered vulnerable for Anton's next attack.
And I'm gonna step away.
Well, it is his turn now. And he's kind of cranky at Anton. Since you did switch off of your energy shield, though, back to swinging the hammer, he's going to just attack you this time with a fire blast. So go ahead and make me a DC 25 toughness save. Alright, that would be a bruise and a daze for Anton. And Spectre's up.
I'm going full out air blast right at his back since I couldn't push him with my wind gust.
You hit. He'll take another bruise because it's a -7. This is going to be bad. Anton's up.
This is why I really wanted to do this.
Alright, so I'm dazed, right?
Right, which means you can only either do a move or a standard action. You do know that he's vulnerable to your attack as well because Lutra sets you up. So yeah, you're pretty certain you're gonna go full on, drive her off the tee.
What's his current condition? Pretty
Foobard. Yeah, this guy is not looking good at all.
I'm gonna go with a so what does the bonus that Lutra gave me?
He's vulnerable for your next attack, so his defenses are cut in half.
At this point, can I yell at him to go for a knockout and not a kill to try to save, like...
That's up to
What?
you. Talking is a free action. For the most part, it's pretty quick.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to shout at him to say, hey, go for a knockout. Don't try to kill him. Try to take him alive.
I'll just grab him. And just pick him up and hold him.
Roll me an unarmed attack check. Even with his defenses cut in half, unfortunately, you miss. Which, because you were dazed, brings it to Malkir's turn.
All right, so I'm going to. I mean, I guess I don't know if I can explain this correctly, but like jump across the boxes and like Bill Goldberg spear him into the other boxes that are like behind him. Hopefully not to like kill him, but to incapacitate him to the point where we can take him alive.
All right, roll me an unarmed attack check.
Where is that on here? I do not see it.
Should be at the bottom of all your 45 weapons.
It's not. I don't have it on my sheet.
In that case, it is a D20 plus 8, and then DC is 24. So, yeah, roll me a D20 plus 8. Unfortunately, in your haste to spear him, you managed to just miss. You're now there. Lutra, do your thing.
Yes. I'm just gonna screw this. I'm just gonna jump over here and pounce on the guy.
All right, roll the hit. You'll hit him. And you'll incapacitate him by giving 2 more bruises in the second stagger condition, which means he fall down, go boom.
Yay!
And he's not dead.
Perfect.
And
So basically, at this point, all 3 of them are still alive, just hurting.
2 of them are hurting. One of them has tied himself into a knot and has surrendered.
We should probably put the fire out, guys. Just saying.
Right.
I'm not at Spectre.
Spectre, because you already have the ability power stunted, you can put it out no problem.
Yeah, I just do concentrated air blast just to blow the fires out.
They're all done.
I just had to be. I had to be careful on using wind conditions because otherwise it would be a forest fire instead of putting them out.
That's why I wanted you to make sure what you were telling me. So we're good. So you now have 2 of them incapacitated and 1 who has surrendered. What are you doing?
Well, what should we do with these fools?
take him back with us?
Let's finish exploring this place and see exactly if we can A, secure what they were after, and B, try to discern exactly what they were doing here.
Well, I will give you. You're pretty sure what you know what they were doing here for free, considering the reason you were sent here to begin with. You're pretty sure they were searching for nanotech.
I kind of look at Spectre and nod at what he said in chat that we should completely disable emo guy just in case.
I'll take the 3. Let's put them all together, and I'll monitor them while y'all investigate. I don't think they'll mess with the hammer.
You walk over, and even though his hands are in knots, you can still see him shaking the hand he hit you at the very beginning. Alrighty, so we've got Anton watching the prisoners. What is everybody else doing?
I'm going to go up to the corner of where he was setting boxes on fire in the upper right here and investigate this area for what exactly he was trying to do over here.
As far as you can tell, burning stuff. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. It was just literally wanting to watch things burn.
I'm looking around for any technology, computers, or anything.
Roll
that might
me
be
an
alive in the world.
investigation check.
I like my perception check better. I was looking for technology, not searching technology.
Right. The investigation check was for something different. You see no technology. It looks like a bunch, like, from what you've seen, because you saw a couple of boxes, throw open. It looks like there was some, old, 45-pound weights. It looks like it kind of looks like this is a giant warehouse that's sort of turned into a storage locker that could be seen in one of those, Storage Wars shows. What is that for?
That is for trying to figure out if we were sent here for the hell of it, and there wasn't really any nanotech here that Casey was trying to protect.
Well, you're not entirely sure. There is part of you that thinks that could definitely be a case, but there is another part of you that, looking around, a good portion of these boxes have been torn open, their contents, sort of spilled out. So the 3 people who were here were obviously looking for something.
Now, earlier on, you mentioned a cracked floor over by where Lucha is now. Is that still prevalent?
It depends. It's still cracked.
Can I do a perception check to see if I notice anything over there?
You can.
I'm also going to mention to the other people that
As far as you can tell, the floor looks cracked.
I'm gonna start interrogating the prisoner.
Yeah, I was standing next to him trying to figure out if I could do anything with him, but
I'm gonna try to intimidate him, giant metal suit, demanding, "Why are you here?"
Roll intimidation.
I'm just going to go the seduction route, but okay. That works.
I mean, I've already pummeled him with a hammer. It's time for him
Yeah.
to fear me.
Oh, he's practically crapping himself. Like, yeah, like you can tell, like he is completely scared out of his mind.
Answer me or I let the otter eat you.
What do you want to know?
What are you doing here?
We're looking for something. It said it would be a box or several boxes of small silver metal squares.
Metal squares?
You remember from the video in the description that the tiny little metal squares are what the nanotech looks like.
Alright, so guys, we're looking for metal squares.
I'm gonna walk over to those cracks and do an investigation check.
Go right ahead. Alright, roll me said investigation check.
I just need to stop rolling. This
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
it's a crack in the floor. But Lutra and Anton definitely notice you searching the crack.
Am I near enough to the crack to see it as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You were. That's right over where you were interrogating Emo Kid.
Yes. Let me gently smash the crack open.
Alrighty, you can gently smash the crack open, and when you do, you're surprised that, from what you could tell, this was supposed to be flat ground. You were just going to be going into ground and going into dirt. You smash the crack open enough, and there's something underneath this warehouse.
Lucha peers down the now opened crack.
Roll perception. Alrighty. Looking down the now open crack, it takes a minute for the light to sort of filter in. But what you catch a glimpse of as the light sort of swings back and forth is, well, what appears to be yet another research laboratory of some sort. And that is where we'll end for the evening.
Very well.
Alrighty, so now for the logistical points of note. This was issue 2, The Storm.
Oh, okay. I thought this was the beginnings part 2.
New Beginnings Part 2, we could do that too. I just figure we'll go New Beginnings and then we'll call it, this one we'll call The Storm.
Awesome. So I'm sorry. So I mean, whatever you type, just because we did New Beginnings Part 1 last time, so I figured that's what.
Yeah, that because my initial plan was to do New Beginnings Part 1 and 2, but I made I'm changing it now. So New
That's fine.
Beginnings and then the Storm.
The storm.
Game date, same day.
Still the same game date. Yep, still the same game date. Going to be another PowerPoint here. And all hero points will transfer. Any extra hero points that you've gained will transfer over because we are still in the middle of the same sort of session here.
So you said we got 1 hero point for the power.
One PowerPoint for the session, yes. Alrighty. I normally don't like leaving on cliffhangers, but that one was too good to pass up.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
What's the otter see when he peers down? Another laboratory.
Which is exactly what he doesn't want to see.
Hey, we almost had roasted otter tonight.
We did almost have roasted otter tonight. Instead, we got Mighty Morphing Otter Rangers.
Yay! Well, if you hadn't done that, I was probably going to try to use my other hero point for instant counter or something like that.
Yeah, would have been
Hey,
fun.
when it takes me an hour and a half to get my stupid PDF up, I pull it up and go, oh yeah, I've got all these other things I can do.
It's just,
Yeah, other things are fun. Also, I'm a giant fan of recognizing the fact in this that it's going to be a post-production thing. But that's just me.
Yes.
well, thanks, TG. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed. The hardest part of the first couple sessions is always getting people together. It's like, okay, so now that we've got people together, it's going to be a little bit easier, but just the first couple, just getting everyone together is so hard.
Right.
When you have me who's still trying to feel out the entire concept of things, that makes it even harder.
Right, which is why I'm kind of trying to do this in baby steps type of deal, not throw 45 different things at you at once.
Yeah, I'm having fun. For my first real sessions of this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and trust me, the more you play it, the more. This is how I when I first started. When I first started, I was all about, let's just get to combat. I want to do all these fun, cool things. Now, the more I play, the more it's like, I could care less about combat. Give me the role playing. I want to do all the fun, cool things.
Right.
I'm kind of pissed I missed the Bill Goldberg spear. I thought that would have been a cool way to take him out.
That would have been a great way to take him out, but unfortunately,
I missed a grab. I missed a point blank grab.
when he was
With
vulnerable
vulnerability.
for you.
I was waiting for you to say you stumble off the top of the boxes and break your neck or something.
Right.
I mean, the whole idea was grab the guy and hold him, and now he's y'all's.
Right.
And I
finally set somebody up for that, and you missed the grab.
Apparently, you're not as cute as you think you are.
Apparently not. I have to make my athletic score better. I need to be cuter.
You were rolling that for athletics?
Or acrobatics.
Okay, Mike, if you're rolling athletics, it's a problem. It's acrobatics.
No, it's acrobatic. I always interchange the two for some odd reason when I'm talking.
No, that's perfectly fine.
I was at least able to do what my initial character was designed. I tanked most of that fight.
Yes.
You tanked like nobody's business.